Hi everyone. Hope you all are doing well, having a great Friday. I am coming to you on Friday because, as this video will explain, we've got a lot of things due in the next couple of weeks, and I did want to take just a few minutes, maybe more than a few, because there are several things I want to cover, kind of detailing some of the other assignments that are going to be coming up throughout the remainder of Unit 2. One of the things you're probably starting to notice with the class is that things are starting to move along a little bit faster, and that is just kind of the way the course is designed. One of the things that I like to do is I like to spend a good bit of time on the first unit to kind of get you into the groove of the class, get you into the groove of what kind of assignment you're working on. And then, of course, once we're through Unit 1, Unit 2 comes, and then we kind of just move forward throughout the remainder of the semester. I will say that overall you all are doing a really nice job. You're keeping up with your work for the most part. If you are having some issues or you are struggling, of course, you've already heard from me. And of course, if you do encounter anything as you move throughout the class, again, let me know. I'm always available to help you. But of course, it's useful if I know ahead of time that something's going on and I can work with you to get things turned in at a later time, rather than you not turning something in and then us having to try to play catch up later on. Again, I'm willing to work with you either way, but trying to help you in advance and kind of get a game plan in place in advance tends to work a little better than playing catch up. So before I go into the content and kind of walk you through some different things that are going to be happening for the remainder of Unit 2, I did want to say I have completed grading all of the literary criticism assignments. I mentioned that in my email this morning. On the whole, they were really good. I was very pleased. Some of you really, really impressed me with your work, particularly taking what you put on the slide and then moving beyond it through your audio and your video. So again, I really appreciate that. So you all as a whole did a really nice job on that assignment. And I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you enjoyed learning a little something about all these different schools of literary criticism. These are things that I've studied at various points in my undergraduate and graduate degrees, and they're really intriguing, honestly. And some of them are very timely, even within 2021. So again, I hope that you enjoyed the assignment. So I do want to let you know that as we're moving throughout the remainder of the course, one of the things, of course, you all are going to be turning in things for this class at a pretty rapid rate. I'm going to be getting things from you at a pretty rapid rate. So the grade time on things might not be as fast as it was during Unit 1. Please know that I will, of course, stay within about the week time period. If I need to go outside of that, which I typically don't, I'll let you all know. I have everything pretty much graded at this point. I haven't started the Unit 2 first discussion board, but I will start those more than likely tomorrow. And of course, I'll be working on the extra credit assignment as well and getting you feedback on all of these things. So just, be looking for that feedback and little bits and pieces kind of throughout the upcoming days. Okay, so let's move into the course now. Okay, there we go. So for our course, of course, we're going to be working through more of Unit 2. So go to Content, and then, of course, we're in Unit 2. Now, what we're going to be focusing on for this upcoming week, that's actually going to be due on the 23rd, is the next kind of piece of kind of looking at the next piece of what it means to analyze poetry and what it means to consider different things with poetry. I do encourage you, of course, to go through and read through everything down in this particular folder, things to remember about poetry analysis. There's some good information here about interpretation versus analysis. Those are different things. Sometimes we use those words interchangeably, but they do mean something very different. Of course, within this particular folder, it does talk about explication. You do get a document that deals with close reading and analysis of poetry through University of Wisconsin-Madison and through UNC at Chapel Hill. UNC at Chapel Hill stuff is really good. I definitely recommend you checking out everything here and letting it help you. There's also a sample analysis to take a look at, a poetry analysis. This is really helpful, and it'll be helpful for you for the upcoming discussion board, but also as you look ahead to the major assignment for this unit, which is going to be your first essay. And of course, make sure to, of course, click on the Semiotic School of Literary Criticism and Poetry. So we're going to be looking at semiotics. And semiotics are really interesting. And I like the work that my students often do with this particular school of thought and with this particular assignment. So your second discussion board for Unit 2 is going to deal with poetry and semiotics. So what you're going to actually be doing is you're going to be looking at the poem, the last two stanzas of Jabberwocky. You all may be familiar with that particular poem by Lewis Carroll. It's really funny, really nonsensical. There's a lot of nonsense words or portmanteaus that exist in this poem, to the point that again it's a laughable poem, but it's really interesting. Again, Lewis Carroll's going for something very specific, or several things, and I do hope that you all can pick up on them a little bit. But what you're going to be doing, you're going to be doing a couple different things with this particular assignment. So you're going to be looking at the different nonsense words or portmanteaus that are in the last two stanzas, which are going to be right here. And you're going to be identifying the part of speech and providing a brief 1 to 2 word definition of each one of those. And again, here are the words that you're going to be looking at. So there's 14 of them. You're going to identify the part of speech, or what you believe the part of speech to be, and a definition. So I will tell you, what you provide me with here, there's not going to be one set correct answer. Again, this is a nonsense poem. A fun one, but it is nonsense. So know that there's not some magical definition that I'm looking for. There's multiple things that you could do with this particular exercise, and that's perfectly fine. Again, this is a fun exercise, or at least I think it's fun. So you'll choose, you'll take all of these and identify the part of speech. Again, noun, verb, adjective, or adverb, and then briefly provide a 1 to 2 word definition of each. And then your second part is going to be rewrite the two stanzas and substitute your definitions in place of the nonsense words or the portmanteaus, and think about whether it makes sense to you. And if it doesn't, look at your definitions and, of course, see what you might need to tweak a little bit. You'll post your rewritten stanzas and your list of definitions and parts of speech, and then you'll also, of course, respond, as always, to 2 of your classmates. And please make sure that you're responding thoughtfully. The thoughtfulness of your responses is definitely getting better as a whole for the entire class, but there are a couple of you who do need to continue to work on this and refine this approach a little bit more. Okay, so that is what you're going to be doing for this. But it's going to be the upcoming assignment. This is going to be due by the 23rd at 11:59. Again, the initial post, which is going to be the 2 parts here, and then of course the 2 replies to your peers. And if you scroll down a little bit, there is an example here. Do not use this example. I will know if you use it, but use this as an example to help you as you move forward. All right, so that is what we're going to be looking at for this particular assignment. Now, within Unit 2, there are 2 other assignments. So once you go through everything in this folder and this particular exercise, do click on the Creating an Annotated Bibliography assignment. Now, this is an assignment that you're going to be doing, and you're going to be interacting with it through Unit 2, Unit 3, and Unit 4. It's something that's going to make its way around throughout the class. And you probably noticed that when you looked at the syllabus and the list of due dates and things for the class itself. And if you look at the grade book, there is a place for it. Really what this particular assignment is going to ask you to do is to begin to engage in finding sources that may be useful to you as you move down the road, or just engaging with academic sources and beginning to find those. So I do encourage you, and I really encourage you, go through all of these different links here. Of course, look at the webpage for starting an annotated bibliography. Look at Outlook Purdue's evaluating information sources. Outlook Purdue's annotated bibliographies. Do look at the sample. These are going to be really important. If you've never done an annotated bibliography before, these 4 things are going to help you produce a really good one. Of course, I'm going to be here to help you. I'll do whatever I can to help you be successful with any of your assignments, especially this one if you haven't grappled with this before. But if you have basic questions, these 4 things are going to help give you a lot of the answers you probably will have, or maybe you're having as you're listening to me talk right now. And then, of course, you'll do the Unit 2, creating a beginning annotated bibliography assignment. This is going to be due on the 27th by 11:59. So, the last Unit 2 discussion board is due on the 23rd. This is due on the 27th. I mentioned the rapidness that the course will kind of take. This particular unit is going to get you in that mindset. So what you're going to do is you're going to locate a scholarly source that would help you with your Unit 2 essay. And I'll, of course, talk about that particular assignment here in just a moment. It can be on one of the literary criticism theories that you studied in Unit 1, or it could be a scholarly article about the poem that you choose to write about for the Unit 2 assignment. And you'll begin with the MLA works cited entry. So again, all the information you would need to cite that source appropriately for MLA. And then you'll write one well-developed paragraph that summarizes, synthesizes, and reflects on the source. And think about this particular outline here. And think about what you should include within these 2 or 3 sentences, within the next 2 or 3 sentences, and the following 2 and 3 sentences. When I say that this assignment in large part is of course digesting all of the different resources at the top and then following this step by step, I really do mean that. That is literally what I'm going to be looking at, and that's very much what the rubric for the assignment is based after as well. Of course, grading criteria is here. There is a rubric that will be provided for it. I will make sure that you all have a copy of that. Once I post this video, I'll also post a link to that. Again, I don't want anything to be a mystery to you. And you'll actually upload it to the submission folder, which if you click on assessments and click on assignments, it'll actually show you where you would submit Unit 2, creating an beginning annotated bibliography. Again, yours won't look like mine because this is instructor view, but you will see there is a spot for it where you can upload your assignment. Okay, so let's go back to content. So that is due on the 27th. And then the last thing I want to cover, and I'm carrying a little bit over, a little longer than I wanted to, but I want to give you everything, as much information as I can to help you throughout the remainder of this unit, is your Unit 2 essay, where you're analyzing a poem. So what you will be doing is you will be choosing a poem from the unit. You can choose any of those poems. You can choose the same one that you chose to analyze in your discussion, or you can choose something different. It's entirely up to you. I recommend, if you found yourself comfortable with the poem that you chose for your discussion, for the first discussion that I'll be grading in the next couple of days, stick with that one. What you'll do is you'll closely read the poem, evaluate, consider the structure, the patterns of figurative language, other literary elements, and then you're going to, of course, reread the poem, make sure to take notes as you move throughout. And what you're going to do is you are going to, of course, take a look at the different resources that are available to you, and again, follow all the different instructions that are here. And really what you're going to do is you're going to just really carefully consider what the poem means, what's going on with the poem. Of course, really what I'm going to be assessing you on is, your ability to do a close reading with the poem and discuss the different poetic devices that are used in the poem, and do the close reading and do close literary analysis. Essentially, you're going to provide me with some kind of, argument about the poem, and you're going to do a close reading that defends that particular argument and helps prove that particular argument. Again, and you'll do that through reading and summarizing and doing some analysis along the way. All of these resources that are here in the task and all of these that are above are all here to help you and will make this assignment easier, I promise. Particularly the building a strong thesis statement. A thesis statement is not just, here's something I've noticed in the text. It needs to truly be an argument. You all, again, have taken 1101, so you already have some familiarity with what a thesis statement is. I believe I've already uploaded a resource, but if I haven't, I'll upload a resource into the additional writing resources folder in content that will also help flesh this out a little bit more for you. But utilize all of these things here, read through all of the instructions. Here's the way that you'll be graded. Do note, though, that it needs to be, of course, an MLA style. You've already started working with MLA style for the literary criticism assignment that I just finished grading. You'll continue utilizing MLA style throughout the remainder of the course. And the length requirements, 750 to 1,000 words. So please make sure to hit this length requirement. You either hit right at 750 or fall within the range. If you go over 2, it's not a huge issue as long as it doesn't become rambling. But make sure that you hit at least 750. If you don't, I have to dock points. I don't say this to be mean, but it's what has to happen. And I say this very clearly because every time I've taught this course, I have students who don't hit the length requirement for the first assignment. And of course, if you don't, that potentially puts your grade in jeopardy, or hurt your grade a little bit, especially this early on in the class. So please make sure that you are hitting the length requirement. If you have any questions about this assignment, please let me know. I will help you as much as I can. Also note that there is free tutoring available in the course. There's things that are available to you. I do recommend that you use it. Also, I recommend that if your institution has a writing center, utilize it. Those of you who are in this class that are at West Georgia, you have a writing center. I run it. So you can get help on this assignment. You can get help on any kind of assignment, but you can get help on this. And the rest of you that are at other institutions, if your writing center has physical hours, virtual hours, or both, you can also utilize it as well, as long as it works for your schedule and you're comfortable using it. This assignment is not due until March 2nd at 11:59, but I want to go ahead and tell you about it now. So between now and then, you can begin thinking about it, mulling it over, and asking questions early on so that you can go into this with eyes open, but also kind of have your feet under you a little bit and kind of know what to expect. All right, so that is a lot of information. I have talked on way longer than I planned to, but I hope that all of this is useful to you. Again, I know this is a lot to digest. This unit is a beefy one because it is the first unit with an essay. You all can do it. You can do well. You've been doing pretty good work so far. If you need anything from me, any assistance, you need any clarification on anything, whatever it might be, please let me know. I'll do anything that I can do to help you, or I'll help direct you to resources to help you do well on these upcoming assignments, particularly the annotated bib and the upcoming essay. All right, take care of yourselves. Have a good weekend. I look forward to seeing and grading more of your work throughout the weekend, and of course checking in with you all next week. Take care.